Hi everyone! Ever encountered that slightly intimidating error message, expected unqualified before? Token? It's a common stumbling block for many programmers, and it can feel a bit cryptic at first glance. But don't worry, today we're going to break it down, understand exactly what it means, why it happens, and most importantly, how to fix it in your code. This error usually points to a very specific type of mistake, and once you understand the underlying concept, you'll be able to spot and correct it quickly. Let's start by dissecting the error message itself. First, unqualified. This term might sound complex, but it simply refers to a plain, simple name. Think of it as a basic identifier, like the name of a variable, a function, or a type, without any prefixes like a namespace or a class scope. It's just my variable or perform action, not my namespace, my variable or my class perform action. It's the most straightforward way to refer to something. Next, we have before. Token. The dot is what we call the member access operator. We use the dot operator to access members, like variables or functions, that belong to a specific object or struct. For example, if you have an object named myCar, you might say myCar.color to get its color, or myCar.startEngine, to call a function belonging to that car. So, when the compiler tells you it expected unqualified before token, it means that right before the dot, it was looking for a simple, plain name that refers to an object or instance. But it found something else, or perhaps nothing at all, where that object's name should have been. One of the most frequent causes of this error is attempting to use the dot operator directly on a type name instead of an object instance of that type. Imagine you have a blueprint for a dog. You can't say dog.bark, because dog is just the blueprint, it doesn't actually bark. You need an actual dog, an instance of the dog blueprint, like myGoldenRetriever.bark. The compiler sees dog.bark and expects an unqualified ID, a specific dog's name, before the dot, not the general blueprint name. To fix this, you need to create an object of that class or struct first. For example, instead of MyClass.member, you would write myObject.member. Another common scenario is trying to use the dot operator on something that isn't an object at all, such as a basic data type like an integer or a function that returns void. An int variable, for instance, doesn't have members that you can access with a dot. So, myInteger.value would trigger this error because myInteger is just a number, not an object with internal properties. Similarly, if a function returns void meaning it doesn't return any value, you cannot then try to access a member of that non-existent return value, like myVoidFunction.SomeProperty. In these cases, you need to reevaluate what the expression immediately preceding the dot is. If it's not an object, you likely shouldn't be using the dot operator there. Lastly, typos or incorrect syntax can also lead to this error. Sometimes, you might accidentally type an extra dot, or forget to specify the object entirely. In C++ specifically, if you're working with pointers to objects, you should use the arrow operator, dash, instead of the dot operator, dot. So, if myPointer is a pointer to an object, you'd use myPointer.member, not myPointer.member. Using the dot with a pointer will often result in this very error. Always double-check the line of code where the error occurs, looking closely at what comes right before the dot. It must be a valid, instantiated object. So, the next time you encounter expected unqualified before token, remember these points. It's almost always about what's immediately to the left of that dot. Ensure it's an actual object instance, not a type name, not a basic data type, and not a pointer incorrectly using the dot. Pinpointing this usually makes the fix straightforward. Thanks so much for watching and for taking the time to learn about this common programming error. If this video helped you understand this particular error better and gave you the confidence to tackle it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more helpful programming tips, error explanations, and coding tutorials, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create more content like this for you. See you in the next